Let's play the game. Oh, get recaps? I don't like where this is. Reduce that just a little bit. Alright, after flying clear across the Atlantic, we finally found ourselves in ye old London. Nick was stuck working right up to when we left, so he's kinda tired, but I'm pumped and ready to get my sightseeing on. Even though he said he was only here for the attorney exchange thing and wouldn't have to appear in court. We still ended up in court, and Nick said I'm the one that would jinx us. Looks like we'll be defending Espella. Alright, I'm ready and raring to go. Glad the first part's over. That witness was quite a character. I bet he'd love to be one in a crime drama. He'd end up making it a comedy, though. I'd hate it if poor Espella was found guilty because of his shaky testimony. But at least now it looks like we might be able to get Espella a not guilty verdict. Yeah, I hope that cheered Espella up a bit. Dark Law. I forgot about Dark Law. She's reading my newspaper. Maybe it's just me, but she doesn't look pleased. Oh, it's you. I appreciate your efforts, Mr. Wright. Thank you. But while I understand your drive to win this case, my drive, this is not the time for your personal ambitions. I don't. I told you before, didn't I? That Espella is pleading guilty and that you should accept the proposed punishment. This incident has already been settled between our school and the police. But Miss Darklaw, Espella could be innocent. Believe me, it will be in Espella's best interest if you end the trial as soon as possible. The more this trial drags on, the more traumatic it is for this poor girl. I'm sorry. Maybe saying that she's guilty, but is she really? In any case, Mr. Wright, we don't want our school being shoved into the limelight because of this case. So if you could please refrain from picking at meaningless details such as that toy. Get this trial over with quickly. This is your client's wish, Mr. Wright. I understand, I'll do my best. It's a relief to hear that. Let's go, Espella. Yes, Miss Darklaw. You know, Darklaw, the person, the like the witch at the beginning, you know, I bet you there's a correlation there. Just throwing that out there. It makes no sense, by the way. It makes absolutely no sense, but I think the game will try. What the heck was that all about? We've been busting our butts in there trying to prove that Espella is innocent, and now she expects us to just give up now? Why are you yelling at me, Maya? But when you think about it, Darklaw is acting very strange. Her own pupil's on trial, and she just stands around reading other people's newspapers. Yeah, what's she so busy reading about anyway? There's nothing about Espella in that paper. Was she checking the soccer scores or something? A newspaper, the front page articles about jewel thieves in London. Break is almost over. We'd better go back. Flinch looked really confident about this new witness. I'm Espella's defense attorney. I'll stand by her no matter what. Forgot to do something. The court will now reconvene. Prosecution, is your witness ready? Of course, Your Honor. Bailiff, please bring her in. Witness, state your name and occupation.
My name is Olivia Al Dente. The warm winds of the Mediterranean Sea carry the spicy scent of a seafood stew. A hot Sicilian stew that soothes the hearts of sailors braving the raging waters. Blessed be the Sicilian cuisine and il nostro mare.
Yes, Miss Al Dente is employed as a cook on the freighter where the crime happened. I totally understand the whole Al Dente. She's a cook, you know, like, you can have pasta Al Dente, you know, I get it. Just throwing that out there in case people are like, he doesn't see it. A cook. That's interesting attire you're wearing, Miss Al Dente. This is my work outfit. It gets very hot in the kitchen, you know. It will be a pleasant change after that chocoholic guard. He got up my nose. Nice to see the judge is remaining impartial. Miss Al Dente discovered the defendant in the cargo hold when she went for supplies. She found Isabella. That would make her the crew member that Johnny saw fighting with Isabella. That is right, Mr. Wright. Miss Al Dente was the first person to discover the intruder. And she is the victim of assault. Hit with a steel pipe, how cruel. If I'd only had my precious kitchen knife with me at the time. And I've shown her my exceptional cutting skills. Exceptional. I'll just go with exceptional. Also, giggle. Nick, look at that. She's an expert potato peeler. You better watch out around her. I'll keep that in mind. Witness, we will now hear your testimony. Describe to us what happened in the cargo hold. Certamente, gladly. She almost cuts into her own chest. Who needs to protect themselves from burns anyways? I mean, if you're never working with oil, then what are you going to get burned by? You know, putting your hand over the fire? Come on, come on, come on. When you're so passionate about cooking, you're peeling potatoes in court. I know this is a video game, and it's a video game, but it does crack me up when things like Johnny Smiles or whatever his name was, I was like, oh, I actually have a piece of evidence that proves the guilt of the witness, but I held on to it the entire time, and I'm not going to get any repercussions for holding on to this piece of evidence. Where, you know, if that were to happen in real life, there would probably be huge repercussions for it. Or like this chick who, you know, just brings a knife into court. You know, it's like that's dangerous. You know, that's a weapon. I went to the cargo hold to check the supplies. It was past 10 p.m. and I found that girl hiding and clutching one of them bizarro toys. She made as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed a pipe. She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge, but she hit me on the head. I blacked out for a few minutes. According to the medical report, you suffered a laceration to your head, correct? It's covered by the chef hat, so you can't see it now. But when I chopped up veggies, it hurts in the rhythm of the strikes. Chop, chop, chop. That sounds most terrible, Miss Al Dente. Should have been more careful, but she looked like a little Piccola girl, whatever that is. Olivia's much taller than Espella. Yeah, Espella's about the same size as you. I may be short, but I'm well proportioned, and that's what matters. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to present the decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt. This is a photograph of the defendant's fingerprints on the steel pipe. Gasp. You would have to be holding it like that. Okay, so two-handed. As you can see, the fingerprints are very clear. They were left by the assailant. They have already been examined and found to be those of the defendant. Well, that settles it. This is undoubtedly decisive evidence. What? The fingerprints on the weapon are Espella's? Just to put your inquisitive mind at peace, Mr. Wright, there were no other fingerprints. Photographs shall be added to the evidence. Have I not warned you, Mr. Wright? Further examination is but a waste of time. Nick, what do we do now? This evidence clearly points to Espella. We're pleading that Espella's not guilty. And if she's innocent, then this witness is lying. All we need to do is expose that lie. Got to think straight and focus on finding the truth. The defense may cross-examine the witness. I feel like the prosecution just doesn't do anything, you know. Sometimes they say objection, but other than that, they just kind of stand there and be like, ha, we won. I went to the cargo hold to check the supplies. It was past 10 p.m.
Hold it!
You had to check the supplies at that late hour? It must be tough being a cook. I know the saying, a thirsty sailor will drink the whole Mediterranean Sea. Or know the saying? That's why I need to make sure we're properly stocked up, sweetie. You're making those sayings up. The incident occurred at 10:20 p.m. when Smiles was doing the rounds. I see, understood. And what happened in the cargo hold? Found that girl idling and clutching one of them bizarro toys.
Hold it!
And this bizarre toy she was holding was none other than PC Badger, was it? The girl held it in a tight grip, like a seahawk. Seahawks holds its prey. Are you certain it was the defendant? It was kind of dark in the room, but I swear on Neptune it was her. The witness was engaged in a face-to-face fight with the defendant. Even if the room was poorly lit, there is no doubt she would recognize her assailant. Espella was holding PC Badger. Did she intend to steal it? What did the witness do upon discovering the intruder? She made as if to run away, so I tried to stop her. Then she grabbed a pipe.
Hold it!
This is probably where we're going to be using the picture. The defendant tried to escape. She had nowhere to run, though, because she was at the far end of the room. Really good at catching chickens that try to run from the knife, so I caught her rapidamente. And when you caught her, things took a violent turn. Yeah, she was so small, you know. You wouldn't think she had that in her. There was a steel pipe propped against the wall right next to her. Was it the pipe from this picture? Yeah, she picked it up and held it in both hands. Okay, well, there goes my plan there. And then... oh, wow, I still only have 4 exclamation points. Even after the break. That's rough. She's short, but she fiercely swung the pipe at me. I tried to dodge.
Hold it!
Hey, Mr. JRPG. What's cooking? Not potatoes. Or nothing al dente either. You're sure it was the defendant that swung the pipe at you?
Objection!
We know it was the defendant because her fingerprints were found on the weapon. As you can see, she held the pipe with both hands, just as the witness has stated. Well, his fingerprints, that's some hard evidence, but then again... what is it, Nick? There's something about those fingerprints. Oh, sounds like you're onto something, Nick. Don't get too excited, it's just a hunch. Fingerprints. They don't look quite right to me, for some reason. I guess if I were to re-examine these fingerprints, if I were to hold this, it does kind of look like the hand at the top of the pipe is like flipped around. The pinky is, I'm just gonna say always the shortest digit on the finger. Actually, but what if... oh, never mind. If you held it like that, but then like that wouldn't make any sense. She would hold... They don't look quite right to me for some reason. These fingerprints. Spella swung this pipe while holding it in both hands. In any case, pray tell us what happened after the defendant took a swing at you. But she hit me in the head. I blacked out for a few minutes.
Hold it!
You remember the moment you were hit? Sort of. It was dark, so I'm not exactly sure how it happened. See, I'm clever with my fingers, but not that good at dodging steel pipes, so I got hit. And you're positive there was no one else at the crime scene? Yep, that cute guard suddenly walked in, sort of nonchalantly. Now that I think about it, the door suddenly opened and I turned towards it. That must have been when I got hit, so it was his fault. Oh, I'll have my revenge. They say my special spice blend is too strong for human consumption. I don't think he will ever be able to taste chocolate afterwards. Giggle. He says while smiling, scary. Johnny said he saw the moment Olivia was hit. Yeah, and he didn't see anyone else in the room either. So when I came to, the guard boy had already captured that girl. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with her testimony. Still, got any ideas, Nick? This one piece of evidence has been on my mind. Not something easy to see, but it feels out of place. I didn't notice anything. I'd better take a second look at the court record. Got nothing concrete, just a hunch to go on, but should I present that? Alright. Looks like the left hand would be uncomfortably bent around if she held it the way the picture is facing. Yeah. Oh, I thought I could read this, but guess not. Okay, so here's what I see. Either the topmost hand is wrong, because you're gonna want to hold the bottom and you want the length of it to, to swing. Okay, so you hold it with the bottom with your left hand, which seems correct, although it doesn't look like the it looks like the pinky is here and this looks like the index, which is kind of hard to tell because they're kind of the same. They're kind of the same, but if you look at your hand, this angle down is consistent with your fingers. So this can't be the index. So that has to be the pinky. So if that was the case, then it would have to be reversed. Just based off of that. Which means that the end of the pipe, or the bottom left-hand corner, is actually the part that she was holding to swing. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to swing that. So we're going to present this here. Actually, do I want to present it here? Or do I want to do it here? I'm gonna go with this one. It could be wrong, but it's an ace attorney game. It could go in either one.
Objection!
You're claiming that the defendant swung the pipe at you. Well, that's impossible. Why do you say that, sweetie? The defendant's fingerprints were found on the pipe. However, there is a contradiction here. Contradiction? Impossible. That is most interesting. Well then, the defense shall explain. What in the photo of fingerprints contradicts the testimony? It would be the position of the fingerprints, but the location of the fingerprints is kind of the same thing, sort of, kind of. The position of the fingerprints, Your Honor. Oh, the position. According to the witness testimony, the defendant held the pipe like this. In order to hit the witness on the head, she raised the pipe like so. That is preciso what she did. And then struck from above. But here's the problem. Think about the fingerprints that she would have left had she done just that. What are you getting at, Mr. Wright? Look closely at the way I'm holding the pipe in this situation. The fingerprints would look like this. The thumb is above the other fingers. Indeed. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you could lower the thumb if you really want to, but, yes. There's no doubt about it. Now take a look at the fingerprints that were actually left on the pipe. goodness. The thumb, it's below the other fingers. What? That's right, Miss Al Dente. What is it? Had the defendant attacked you as you described, the fingerprints would have been the other way around, which means something's not right with your testimony. Order, order. What is the meaning of this? These fingerprints were submitted as decisive evidence. Oh, who birds? How come this contradiction was not brought to light before? No! Miss Al Dente, what do you have to say about this? The heck? Excuse me, Miss Al Dente? Know how to bring out the full sweetness of a sweet potato? Huh? Use a pinch of salt. Interesting, right? You use salt to make something taste sweeter. Not following. I remember it now. It was the other way around, not as you'd expect it. Sorry, I got a bit confused. You'd normally hold a pipe like that. But she's so small, the pipe is heavy, she held it the other way. The other way? Not like this. He held it like this, or in this way.
Objection!
But you testified that she fiercely swung the pipe at you. I'm telling you, I got confused. Olivia's sorry, okay? How could you mistake the way she held the pipe if she was right in front of you? Oh, why don't you go fry an egg? What does it matter if she held it one way or another? You wouldn't call a slightly salted sweet potato a salty potato, because it's still a sweet potato, no matter what you add to it. The witness probably has a point, doesn't she, Mr. Wright? So the defendant attacked the witness holding the pipe backhanded. Seems a bit unnatural, but it doesn't make sense, I suppose. Or it does make sense, I suppose. Indeed it does, Your Honor. There is no problem with this evidence, after all. Does the defense agree? No, she's too short. Looks like the left hand would be uncomfortably bent around if she held it the way the picture is facing. Those physics, though. Well, it's most likely just animation and not physics, but whatever. If I agree, there are no problems with this evidence. We'll be one step away from losing this case. Gotta be a contradiction somewhere in that fishy testimony. Could Espella have hit Olivia holding the pipe backhanded? Let's prove there is a contradiction.
Objection!
How would she swing it then? I agree. I mean, you can't, so like, you can hold it that way, and then you can let go, and then like go like that, but she's too short. She's too short. Well, Miss Al Dente, I'm afraid that you're in a pickle now. I don't really see why. Adding a pack of lies to a testimony can turn things very sour for a witness. It would seem the defense is prepared to prove its claim, that there is a contradiction in this witness's testimony. Correct, Your Honor. Won't know until I try. The defense shall now present evidence to the court. The evidence contradicting the assertion that the defendant hit the witness holding the pipe backhanded is... Evidence contradicting... There's nothing in here about her height. Would you get a laceration from a blunt object? What in the world would prove this? Okay, so... This is one of those scenarios where I have a couple of ideas, but I don't know what the game wants of me. I know that Espella is too short, so I could use Espella. I know that Olivia is too tall, so I could use Olivia. Maybe I can make an angle with a laceration to the back of the head, but I don't know. I think I go with Espella and just hope that this is correct. But I'm not feeling very confident about this, and if this doesn't work, then kind of in a pickle.
Take that!
Well, this is it. Well, I ask for your opinion on this, Prosecutor Flinch. I don't understand what the defense is trying to say. Oh, we could say that things have gone sour for Mr. Wright rather than the witness. Huh? Accusing me of lying is in really bad taste, you know. Messed that up big time. Hey Nick, do you think she even got hit in the first place? She did, it says so in her medical report. Laceration to the back of the head. Can't see it because it's under her chef's hat. Espella and I wouldn't be able to see it anyway. Because they're both so short. It made me think of something. Defense, are you still there? Yes, please give me another chance. No matter how you slice it, you can't prove anything. Okay.
Take that!
That's wrong too? Alright, go to the medical report now. This is the one that I'm not so great on, but I'm not losing points for doing this, so that's great. And I know they brought up the medical report there, but I need to try my height theory first. It's like they purposefully put me on the medical report, like, come on dog, this is it.
Take that!
Miss Al Dente, you previously testified that you were using that hat to cover the wound you received in the assault. Normal for signorinas. Signorinas? Is that really how you spell that? To cover up things they don't want others to see. That's not all. You also described the defendant as little, if you recall. That is to say, Miss Cantabella is, at the very least, shorter than you. I've grown tall and healthy thanks to the wonderful Mediterranean sunshine. Let me ask you then. How did a girl shorter than you, holding a heavy pipe backhanded, manage to land a blow to the back of your head? I'd say it's impossible. Fingerprints on the weapon show that the defendant held it backhanded. But even if she didn't, it is highly unlikely she would be able to hit Miss Al Dente's head like that. Order, I will have order. What is the defense getting at?
Objection!
Even if it was highly unlikely, it cannot be proven that it was impossible. Miss Cantabella's fingerprints were found on that pipe, Your Honor. Nothing can change the fact that it was the defendant who held the weapon. That is so. Does the defense have any comments? Can't deny that. Clear that Espella did hold that pipe. Held it like this, right? Why would she do that? It'd be hard to hit anyone like this. When she holds it like that, it looks as if she's trying to stop someone from hitting her. Court recognizes the validity of the prosecution's objection. Fingerprints on the weapon prove that it was used by the defendant.
Objection!
The defendant's fingerprints may be on the pipe, however, that doesn't prove she hit anyone with it.
Objection!
Nonsense. What else would she pick up a steel pipe for?
Objection!
Oh, I think I've got a pretty good idea. Well then, the defense may elaborate on its idea. What I say next will turn this trial around. The defendant's fingerprints were left on the weapon when she tried to defend herself. Well, naturally, she held the pipe with both hands when she stopped it from coming down on her head. Stopped it? With both hands? That's right, like this. Please take another look at this photo. These are not the fingerprints of an assailant, but rather the fingerprints of a victim who was defending herself. Which brings us to the conclusion that Miss Cantabella didn't attack the witness. She was in fact a victim desperately trying to defend herself. This cannot be! And if Miss Cantabella was a victim, who was the real assailant? There's only one person who could have done it. The only other person at the crime scene was Olivia Al Dente. It was you, wasn't it? You're getting bodied, sucker. Order, order, order. If I cannot have order, the court will be adjourned. Be quiet, all of you. You just don't quit, do you? A lousy lawyer like you should get the chop. How about I show you my knife up close?
Objection!
You lost your mind, Mr. Wright. The witness is the victim, not the assailant. There are no fingerprints other than the defendant's on the weapon.
Objection!
She's wearing gloves. Look at the witness's outfit. She's wearing gloves. That's why she left no fingerprints. You prickly sea urchin.
Objection!
But you cannot be sure she was wearing gloves that night.
Objection!
The witness has called this her work outfit, so she must have been wearing it when she went to check supplies. You devious lawyer, slippery as an eel. It was me because I had gloves on, as if it was only me wearing gloves. He's the only one in this courtroom wearing gloves. There was that guy, the guard. He was wearing gloves too. A guard? Oh, that was the previous witness. Oh, that's right. Gloves are part of the guard's uniform by regulation. See, that guard Johnny, he was wearing gloves that night too. What do you say to that, Mr. Wright? Since you're claiming that the assailant is the person who had gloves on, that would make the guard a suspect as well. Could Johnny be the culprit? I'm going to say it's impossible. Johnny Smiles is not the culprit. Why not? Anyone with gloves could have done it. Didn't you just say that? No, I didn't. However, it does seem plausible that the guard could have done it. He was wearing gloves after all. I'm afraid that's impossible, Your Honor, and I have proof. You do? Fascinating. Let's see this proof, if you really have it. Please enlighten us as to why Smiles cannot be the culprit. Chocolate fingerprints! Mr. Smiles is, to put it nicely, what you may call a free spirit. There's no guarantee he would follow the rules and wear his full uniform. And this evidence proves he did not wear gloves. Wait, don't throw that filthy torch at me. Will someone please wipe the chocolate off this evidence? No, Your Honor, this chocolate is the evidence. What? Mr. Smiles was snacking on a chocolate bar during his patrol. That's why his flashlight is in this sorry state. And covered in his chocolatey fingerprints. Therefore, we know that he didn't wear gloves when patrolling the ship that night. Rule-breaking, chocolate-loving Johnny Smiles was not the culprit. What? That's ridiculo. Ridicolo, it's too silly.
Objection!
Suckers. Your Honor, the defense has merely pointed out a possibility. To call this witness a criminal without actual evidence against her is preposterous.
Objection!
Prosecution's duty is to clear what doubts there may be regarding the defendant's guilt. And I have demonstrated that there is, at the very least, a possibility that the witness is not telling the truth.
Objection!
At the very least, Espella Cantabella is not innocent. As corroborated by PC Badger, the toy that she attempted to steal. Yeah. What was that? Did Olivia just freeze for a second? Prosecutor Flinch explained to the court about this toy, this new piece of evidence. This is the stuffed toy the defendant tried to steal that night. One of its legs would appear to be missing, the poor thing. This mishap befell PC Badger as the witness and defendant were fighting. The captain of the freighter reported the damage after the defendant's arrest. So this is the stuffed animal Olivia snatched from Espella. I see. The court would like to hear the witness's testimony regarding this evidence. Witness, your testimony. Excuse me, witness. You have been asked to testify. Ah. I'm so very sorry. I got a little upset from all these accusations. I'm not used to this, being called a liar. Yes, it's only natural. Don't worry about that. It's all that slimy attorney's fault. Objection? Hello? Why do I feel like an eel on a chopping board? The witness will now testify. Tell us how you retrieved this toy from the defendant. Gladly. Oh, il nostro mare. I wonder what she's saying. I don't get it. Whatever she said, I'll make sure this is the last time she says it in court. Because you're gonna kill her, right? I wrestled this toy back from that thief and then gave it to the police. When I found that girl, I thought I couldn't let her get away with our precious cargo. Naturalmente, I had to get the toy back from her first. Its leg got ripped off, though. But there's no way I could have attacked her with the pipe. I was holding the toy in one hand. I don't remember much about when I was hit, but I got the toy back at least. I see. What a commendable attitude, going to such lengths to protect the cargo. I may not be a security guard, but I'll do what it takes for the sake of our ship. Didn't do much good in the end. This PC Badger is way too damaged to be sold. These lovely little toys are made at a workshop in London. We transported them down the River Thames, distributing them to children as we go. Didn't she call them bizarro toys earlier? Now suddenly they're cute? And what about fingerprints on this toy? It is a soft toy after all, so no usable fingerprints were found. Well, that is unfortunate. Regardless, the court accepts it into evidence. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Alright, I wrestled this toy back from that thief and then gave it to the police.
Hold it!
When you entered the cargo hold, Espella had this stuffed animal. Naturalmente, I caught her red-handed. She was trying to steal it. I'm telling you. To be honest. It doesn't sound like she's lying. But is Espella really a thief? I can't be sure about it. Just picking something up doesn't make you a thief anyway. Something else in her testimony is on my mind right now. Has the defense changed its mind about the innocence of its client now? Witness, continue your testimony. What did you do after coming across the defendant? When I found that girl, I thought I couldn't let her get away with our precious cargo.
Hold it!
This precious cargo was picked up from London. Yeah, the workshop where they make them is by the River Thames. We came to pick up the cargo regularly. As it's a regular direct delivery service, we did not see the need to investigate the cargo. If you confiscated our cargo for inspection, I wouldn't be able to carry out my cooking experiments. Confiscate? What the heck is she cooking with exactly? I think we can all see how committed Miss Al Dente is to her work. Commitment and passion are the main ingredients of every dish I cook. Clemente, I had to get the toy back from her. Its leg got ripped off, though.
Hold it!
I feel like the music's like too loud now on my end. The stuffed animal's leg got ripped off when you were fighting. Yeah, it came off easier than the shell of a freshly boiled lobster. Let's see. This thing does seem kind of flimsy. Stop picking on PC Badger. He may be a plushie, but that's no reason to make fun of him. Not made very well, though. It looks like it might just come apart if you pull it a bit. I ripped it out of... my goodness. I ripped it out of the girl's hands and kept it with me until the police came. Well, there's no way I could have attacked her with the pipe. I was holding the toy in one hand.
Hold it!
But you didn't hit the defendant with this steel pipe. Aren't you forgetting who's the victim here, sweetie? I am, and I didn't strike myself with that pipe. Aren't you getting things backwards? Feeling dizzy? Maybe you haven't been eating properly. He's right, someone else must have hit her. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I don't remember much when I was hit, but I got the toy back at least.
Hold it!
You don't remember much about it. Yeah, and the room was dark because only the emergency light was on. But there was definitely no one else in that room, only me and that little girl. So it had to be her that hit me. Not having second thoughts about that, it seems. Well, that's it, huh? Well, Nick, this one's easy. I know what to do. You're finally starting to act like your normal self. That jet lag must have hit you like a ton of bricks, huh? There's a clear contradiction in Olivia's testimony. It's time to present some evidence and expose her lies. I wrestled this toy back from that thief and then gave it to the police.
Hold it!
When you entered the cargo hold, Isabella had this stuffed animal. Oh, is this... Wait, Naturalmente. I caught her red-handed. Oh, this is the beginning again. The heck? I was trying to steal it, I'm telling you. Alright, move along, please. Okay, so this comes to mind. A newspaper. This still has the tag on it. Do I risk this right now? Oh, precious cargo. Had to get the toy back from her first. Its leg got ripped off though. No way I could have attacked her with the pipe. I was holding the toy in one hand. Got the toy back at least. I don't know where to present this.
Objection!
Miss Al Dente, I would like to confirm just one thing. The stuffed animal you submitted to the police, is it this one? Yeah, that's the one. No doubt about it. I'm sorry, but if that's the case, things simply don't add up. What doesn't add up? If it's about the leg, it's that girl's fault. It got ripped off because she wouldn't let go. The problem is not something that's missing from this stuffed animal. On the contrary, it's something that shouldn't be there in the first place. Something that shouldn't be there. And that is, of course, this item. This is the final piece of evidence received from the guard, Mr. Smiles. When I seized the girl at the crime scene, she was clasping this in her hand. She didn't even seem to notice. What would that be? Appeared to be PC Badger's tag, Your Honor. Strange, isn't it? Something was definitely ripped off this plushie. But it wasn't its leg, it was the tag. You noticed it too, didn't you, Miss Al Dente? If this is the stuffed animal that Miss Cantabella was holding when you found her, then why is the tag still on it? Take that! Spinning cane! Order, I will have order. What is the meaning of this? Hey, you tasteless-looking prosecutor over there. Yes? What's this about the tag? You didn't tell me anything about that. If you'll please calm down. No use blaming the prosecutor. He didn't even know this tag existed.
Objection!
Witness, I had not been informed of such evidence. If you had this in your possession, why didn't you hand it in to the police? Sorry, Mr. Prosecutor, I'm an expert at what I do, and my expert advice to myself is that I'd better keep this as my secret weapon. I waited for the right moment to single-handedly settle this trial. For better or for worse, this tag's existence has only recently come to light. Neither the prosecution nor you, Your Honor, knew about it before this trial. But then, why is there a tag on this toy? How come this toy has a tag? The answer is simple. There is a tag on this stuffed animal because I don't think she put a new tag on it. I think the swap theory is kind of ludicrous. You took the wrong toy. Well, most likely, Al Dente took a different plushie by mistake. What's that? She took a different one. Toys all look the same, so she ended up picking the wrong one.
Objection!
How can you claim she would make such a mistake? That toy is missing a leg. What you said is so ludicrous that I raise an objection for no reason. How about we hang a useless attorney tag on your neck, darling? Yeah, great. Let's all play Gang Up on the Phoenix, guys. Right, I'll ask you again. You better get it right this time. How come this toy has a tag? Alright. Like, you could take the wrong toy because it was swapped. There was only one possibility. Miss Al Dente, before handing the plushie into the police, you swapped it for another. Listen to yourself. Why would I even do something like that? Ridicolo. Ridicolo. I don't know. And that's right. The tag must be a fake. A fake? Why would you think that? That chocolate freak must be trying to frame me. That's what it is.
Objection!
Mr. Smiles has no motive to do something like that.
Objection!
We don't know that. No motive? It doesn't require much thinking to come up with one. He wanted attention. Yes, that's what he said. The guard lied to show off. That's all there is to it. Did Johnny produce bogus evidence to draw attention to himself? I mean, it's totally possible. It's an interesting theory, but it's impossible. And how do you know? You all dice you like an onion. Anyway, was Mr. Smiles lying? There's an easy way to find out. What? How do you plan to check it? By checking the fingerprints, of course. Fingerprints? According to Mr. Smiles' testimony, when he seized Miss Cantabella, she was holding the tag in her hand. Therefore, her fingerprints should still be on that tag. Bailiff, have this evidence investigated immediately. That was awesome, Nick. We've almost got her now. Mr. Flinch, I have a question for you. What is it? When you searched the crime scene, did you find a toy without a tag? Well, Mr. Flinch, did you? No, we, Considering the circumstances, it did not seem necessary to investigate quite so thoroughly. But at the very least, I can tell you that all the toys in the crate had tags on it. Or tags on. Excuse me, Your Honor. What is it, Mr. Wright? It appears no stuffed animal was found without a tag. Which means that it may still be hidden at the crime scene. Your Honor, the defense requests that the ship be searched thoroughly this time. Send a forensics team there immediately. You're requesting another search.
Objection!
What? Surely you can't be serious. Whether the toy was swapped or not, it doesn't matter in the least. They are all the same. Any of them will do just fine. That is exactly why it's important. All these plushies are the same. There's no need to swap one for another. And yet, why is the witness getting so worked up about it? That's just... I had a feeling that there was something odd about this case. Stolen stuffed animal and an assault connected to it. Now, there had to be more to it. There had to be another crime under the surface. Nick. This is it. What should I do? Request that search, dog. Your Honor, the defense insists on a search. Should a plushie without a tag be found on the ship? And there's a strong possibility that this case will be resolved.
Objection!
Oop. Prosecution does not acknowledge something. No! Oh my god, that's a big fish.
You can't! No, you can't search it again! You just can't!
Witness. Valdente, why did you swap the stuffed animal? And why are you so afraid of having the ship searched? PC Badger holds all the answers. I say, Mr. Wright, could it be that you already know the reason behind the swap? Of course, I didn't have any definitive proof, but when it comes to pointing out a possibility, I might have something. Very well then, let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence that would explain why Miss Al Dente is against the search?
Take that!
Take that. There's a certain article in this newspaper. Elusive jewel thieves at large in London. Scotland Yard on red alert. Oh, that robbery. I've heard about it, of course. A group of thieves robbed a jewelry shop and made away with about 50 pieces of jewelry. Many extremely valuable stones were stolen as well. Scotland Yard's under great pressure to find them. All packages sent out from London are being scrutinized by the police. And what does this have to do with our case? Nothing. Beg to differ. The jewel theft took place in London. And that's where our freighter picked up its cargo. London. It can't be. Witness? That night, you discovered the defendant in the cargo hold. She was holding one of the plushies. You knew you had to get it back. You had to get it back at all costs. But why go so far for a mere plushie? There's only one possible reason. You couldn't afford to have the police discover what was inside of it. Get bodied. Miles, the real MVP? I don't know about all that now. Calm down. Relax. We have just received a report from the team investigating the crime scene. This toy was hidden between a storage unit and a pipe. The toy has been cut open and the contents examined. And this was found inside. A pink diamond worth approximately 100,000, what is that, euros? Pounds? We have also received a report from the crime lab. The defendant's fingerprints have been found on the tag. Do you have anything to say, Miss Al Dente? You bodied. I lost, didn't I? So you are a... Yeah, I'm one of them. I'm one of the jewel thieves. My role was to get the loot out of London. The police never check the regular shipments from that workshop. We decided to take advantage of that blind spot. Indeed, the regular direct deliveries service has been overlooked by the police. Possibly because that workshop produces the very mascots representing the police. The other crew had nothing to do with it. I used their ship, that's all. If she didn't admit to this, she would have been fine. It was you who hid the jewels inside the plushies. There was one jewel in each toy. I was carrying them away one by one. The defendant happened to pick one of those toys up. I had my heart stand still when I saw that girl in the cargo hold. Whenever I was free, I stood guard in front of that room, and yet she got in somehow. So there she was in the room with the hidden loot, one of the toys in her hand. So how did Espella get in there? I don't know if she was trying to steal the toy or what, but I just had to get it back from her, no matter the cost. Then I handed in a different toy. I made it look like it was ripped in the fight. It would have been over for me if the police had found any of the jewels. Man, you could have played this off much better. But wait, who was it in the end? Who hit Olivia? Oh, I'd almost forgot about that.
At first, I thought it must have been that little girl that hit me. But now I don't know.
You don't know?
No one else was supposed to be in that room. But what if there was someone in the shadows. Some mischievous person hidden in the darkness.
You can say that Wright fished out the truth. Alright, Mr. JRPG. You're at it again. This was a most unusual case. It cannot be said that all mysteries have been resolved, but it has become clear that Miss Cantabella is innocent. Well then, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It would seem that I owe you thanks for helping us see the truth. No need to thank me, Your Honor. You need to pay me. I was just doing my job. Like I always do. Is that really the smartest thing you could come up with? And Mr. Flinch. Yes, Your Honor. This trial was part of the Legal League of Attorneys exchange program, wasn't it? May this trial serve as a lesson for you, too. Is that understood?
Ooh. It is as you say, Your Honor. Don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look! Without my glasses, I can't see, and I don't want to be seen! Where are you, where are you, where are you, where are you?
You bodied. Well then. The court has reached its verdict. I pronounce the defendant, Isabella Cantabella, not guilty. Hey. Like how Axelrod was hiding in the contamination room in the dark, killing off someone, and me and the other player were accusing each other in that one Among Us game. Oh man. I wonder if I have a recording. I put some of those on YouTube. There was one, oh man. Oh man. Among Us. Among Us. That suckafoo game. Congratulations, you did it, Nick. Yeah, thanks. I guess I should be happy. But Darklaw's cold gaze is staring daggers through me. Thank you, Mr. Wright. You are better than I thought. Had I known earlier, I would have asked you to prove Isabella innocent from the very start. I'm glad you're happy about the verdict. Isabella, come and thank Mr. Wright. Here's that book. How does she have that book? That doesn't make any sense. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Glad I could help. Hey, Isabella. What's that big book you've got there? Oh, please forgive her. She's a bit shy, you see. She's very fond of books. At any rate, now Isabella can return to her peaceful life at our boarding school. And it's all thanks to your hard work, Mr. Wright. Now please excuse us. We have some formalities to attend to. Oh yes, of course. Mr. Wright, you were truly outstanding in that courtroom today. Very well. Finally getting some recognition. Finally over. You know, something's still bothering me about this case. The person who hit Olivia. Where did they go? That's true. We don't know who actually assaulted Olivia. If it wasn't Isabella, there must have been another person at the crime scene. But neither Olivia nor Johnny saw anyone else. The room was dark, save for the emergency light. I'm sure someone hid in the shadows. And Johnny was wearing sunglasses. I'm amazed he saw anything at all. He missed all those clues, so it's not much of a stretch to imagine he missed the perpetrator too. How about we head back now? Okay, let's go check out Tower Bridge while we still have some daylight left.
Oh.
Oh.
What is it, Maya?
There, on the couch. Isn't that Espella's book? It is the book she was holding. We should return it to her. Hey, Nick, let's see what kind of stuff Espella likes to read.
Just quit it, Maya.
What is this voice acting?
Labyrinthia, huh?
Hmm? What?
Huh?
Huh? Maya, look!
Huh? Hey, Nick, look, that's us, isn't it?
Okay, I wasn't expecting that to happen. I have to admit that. Ooh, be continued. Guess I am marking here. Oh, what? 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 You sucker food. You sucker fools.